There won't be any pride parades this year, but that doesn't mean people aren't coming up with wonderful ways to connect and show their pride. Jon Thompson is our Ontario Hub journalist covering the Northwest. He joins us now from Thunder Bay on a creative effort in his neck of the woods that's going ahead despite one town council's decision to reject a pride declaration. Happy Pride and welcome to the show, Jon.
Hey, Jan, thanks for having me.
Now, before we delve into your latest for TVO.org, I wanted to get an update on the COVID-19 pandemic in your region. What's that looking like?
The story in Thunder Bay is breaking right now. There was a visiting locum physician at the Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center that was diagnosed on Sunday evening. And so as we speak, 250 staff are being assessed. And as of now, there isn't a second case that would constitute an outbreak in the region's largest hospital, but there's certainly concern at this time.
Now, this pandemic is shaping the way that Pride will be carried out this month. Of course, June is Pride Month. What are the events looking like this month in your region?
Well, like most places and most things, Pride is moving online in Northwestern Ontario. There's going to be church services, and there's a whole lot of storytelling and things like that. But the story we put out on TVO.org this week was more about the continued need, despite COVID, for there still being a physical manifestation of Pride.
Well, let's talk about that. You learned that not all communities are recognizing Pride. Why not? And what's the story about the town of Emo?
A Fort Francis counselor named Douglas Judson, who grew up in Emo, is the co-chair with his partner Peter of Borderland Pride. So that would be the Fort Francis district along the Rainier River and the border with northern Minnesota. In 2018, they first marched across the international border. As they say, the only march they're aware of that crosses an international border. Of course, that's impossible this year, JN, because the United States-Canada border is still closed. And so they started getting a number of declarations for municipal councils and First Nations throughout that district to start recognizing Pride until they reached Emo on a town of 5,000 people on May 12th. Council in Emo rejected that resolution with Mayor Harold McQuaker casting the deciding vote 3-2. The Pride then got 1,742 signatures on a petition with the assistance of Pride organizations across Ontario, including Pride Toronto and Pride Thunder Bay. And Emo Council rejected reopening the issue on May 26th. And so the reaction throughout Northwestern Ontario has really been based on that incident.
Now, I know you spoke to a number of LGBTQ leaders across the province. What have they had to say about what's at stake when Pride is not recognized in smaller communities like Emo?
Yeah, well, I think in Emo represents a front line in Northwestern Ontario. In 2012, when the Knox United Church, which is the church that Judson grew up in, held the first same-sex wedding, it caused the dissolve of a council of local Christian organizations. And so that's how recent that is. But although there have obviously been LGBTQ two-spirited plus people in Northwestern Ontario for all time, it hasn't been taking the form of Pride in the way that it has where you live for generations now. Sioux Lookout's the oldest organization, having first marched in 2011, Thunder Bay 2013, Kenora 2015, Dryden 2017, and again, Fort Francis in the area that we're talking about, 2018. In some places, there aren't even LGBTQ people leading these movements. There are public health nurses and youth workers, because the community doesn't have sort of a built culture around Pride the way you see it elsewhere. But when we come back to that question of what does it mean, again, Judson grew up in that church, and I spoke to people there when they were going through those discussions about accepting homosexuality in the early 2000s. And some of those people really regret not having been taken a stronger stand at that time for the peace of their community. That's coming out now.
What I find interesting is next year, looking at Pride next year, is Thunder Bay will be the backdrop of a national conference. And here we are having this conversation of a community that is not accepting. Are there consequences at all?
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of this. This is a social story. It's also an economic one. And
Mhm.
so when you look at the more conservative fringes of this movement, and in many cases the leadership of this movement, in both Borderland, Fort Francis, and Thunder Bay, it's tied to these larger issues of acceptance. So we look at how Fierté Pride Canada is going to be in Thunder Bay in 2021. And the Patty Haidu, the federal member of parliament for this area,
Mhm.
when the feds committed almost $150,000 to that organization in that conference, used economic development and tourism as a rationale for that. And so I think it's important, and Jason Veltri, who leads Thunder Pride, would say it's important because ultimately this is about making these communities safe places to raise families and safe places to live in for people.
John, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and you always bring some very important stories to the forefront from your region. That's Jon Thompson, our Ontario Hub journalist covering Northwestern Ontario. Thanks again.
Thanks, Jan.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.